Hello there, welcome back. Okay, so as usual, let's take a look at the weekly performance, how the US market and Asian market has performed. Then we look at the potential movement going forward. So a quick review of how the indices has performed. Over here, we are looking at the performance chart, which I'm going to turn on right now. And you are looking at the performance of all the indices, major indices in the market, Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, STI, and Hang Seng. And we are looking at Dow Jones at this negative region, slightly negative, about 0.2% negative, then followed by STI, which is around 0.6% negative, and then we have S&P 500 down about 1.2%. Then Hang Seng down about 2%. Then Nasdaq down about 2.6%. Okay, so generally for the week, the market was coming down after hitting new these so-called highs. Okay, so let's take a look at the indices, starting with Dow Jones. Although we can see the weekly is down, but if you follow the technical charts over here, the Dow did not actually disappoint us as it hit to its major resistance level as we expected. So after it hit its major resistance level, it even tried to break out. But of course, there is some sell-off after that. So why is it selling off? Mainly because this whipsaw is created by the less hawkish speech by the Fed member. As I mentioned last week, the Fed member is coming out to comment about the interest rate, and there was one comment, and then he was less hawkish and or more dovish. So what we are staring at is that after he commented, then the market started to sell off. So kind of weird over here, but nevertheless, it's just follow the technical, yeah. So a pullback is quite natural, especially if the uptrend can pull back to test and hold at support level. And the support level that we are looking at is 33,264 if it retest it. If not, this could be the next higher low. If I were to plot a line, usually people can plot trend line over here. Well, you can see here why Dow Jones came down, mainly because there are multiple resistance blocking it for the time being. And then if I were to plot another line to see whether is there going to be any support here, well, you can see that this line, the support is somewhere around here, which is 33,000. And so what does this mean? It could mean that the Dow could be looking at to find support over here if it doesn't have the strength to continue to go up to form a new higher low or new support here. Turning to the weekly chart, we can see something more bearish. We have a weekly shooting star or doji, graveyard doji. And the last time when it formed this, it was something like this. And the Dow start to pull back. Okay. And then the earlier time when we have this, the Dow start to pull back. So next week is especially crucial. Why? Because you can see the sign of pulling back is happening after the shooting star with this black candle, So we are looking out for a crucial week ahead. So is there a chance that the Dow negate this and continue to go up higher? We seems to not to have any of them when the weekly chart forms this kind of candle pattern. Well, can history be rewritten again? This one next week, keep a close eye. S&P 500, as anticipated, retested the major resistance. If you look at the week earlier video, I mentioned about this major resistance to be tested, and it got tested, and then we start to see pullback. And we can see the support here at 4175. And the weekly chart is a bullish Harami pattern, and this Harami pattern, well, is not that bearish as a shooting star in my opinion. But then most importantly is that what we looked out for is a black candle pullback to 4175 and breaks below this level, then we may expect more pullback. Okay, so if I were to zoom out to check, is there any similar pattern that caused the S&P to crash? So far I've seen none, except that you can see minor pullback, which is quite healthy. This minor pullback is in fact a healthy pullback, so that the S&P 500 can go up new high. Okay, but the shooting star can be quite bad, because if it's a shooting star, it could be a tumble or crash. So we have a Dow shooting star, but then we don't have S&P 500 shooting star. So at least this is some consolation. At least we know that the market isn't that bad. Now, let's look at Nasdaq here. You can see the ascending wedge as I plotted, as I mentioned. If it breaks down, it may continue lower, which it did break down. So this is a sign of a weakness in this uptrend. And of course, give credit to Nasdaq. It follows the technical to the pinpoint, especially when it gives confirmation of breaking down and it continues go down lower. This is credible, because if this is so, then it means that when it can go up, it will go up. When it can come down, it will come down. So you can tell whether Nasdaq can go up or go down, because it follows technical to the pinpoint. Then we have this support over here at 12,427 to watch. And of course, Ascending Watch has a projection pattern as well, or projection level, and it can be projected to approximately this level as well. So will Nasdaq come down to test this level before it rebound? If it still follows the technical, I think it would. Going to the weekly charts, it's not a shooting star for the Nasdaq, but then it's not a bullish candle either, but it's not as bad as the Dow. So 3 indices, 2 doesn't have shooting star, means that next week we may not be that bad. Okay, so let's take a look at how the market developed. Going to the Asia market. So we start with STI. After the confirmation of this pullback over here, we see the this is what we call the evening star. This pullback confirmation actually managed to see some rebound. Okay, so this rebound was short-lived because of this Friday closing. It was quite bad, especially this pushed the index to retest this low at 3,244. This is another lower high. So if next week we see a breakdown below this 3,246 points and lower, which is 3,240, then we may see more downside, and the downside could be till, well, we can do some estimation. So the downside could be till this 3,193. So keep a lookout on how it performs, especially at this support level 3244. If it doesn't break down, there might be still a glimmer of hope. But looking at the chart, it doesn't look very bullish as yet. Especially we have the first sign of change in trend. So the weekly chart is another shooting star, a shooting star come bearish engulfing, got a shooting star confirmation. So looks quite bearish. Yeah. Hang Seng managed to rebound in the early week, but then did not manage to test its resistance especially when there are more bad news. There were more bad news released. I put it in my comment box. If you did notice it, then I did mention that, you know, the chances of it changing its trend to uptrend has reduced tremendously. And now we are staring at the bearish formation. And this bearish formation is a potential descending triangle, especially if Hang Seng come back to hit this level 19,513. And what we see is that Friday we had a consolation white candle. So it was a white candle closing, but it is not a not a strong one, I would say. Not a pretty one also, because we have some long upper shadow here, which is almost the same length as the candle body. And of course, it is still very much in the formation, bearish formation, and the downtrend line. Let's plot this more accurately over here. Then this downtrend line has to be broken in order to change the trend. If not, if it come down, then we may see some more downside. So in summary, if this comes to here, then potentially going lower. Let's do some projection going lower to here, maybe hitting the low here. Okay, although the projection level is still this 18,784. Else, if it can turn around suddenly, it come back to here and break out, then we have a new projection level. If it's bullish, then we can see it goes to here. Well, with the tension going on in the Taiwan Straits, so it is a pretty tough ordeal for this Hang Seng to, pretty tough for Hang Seng to move up, especially when the news come out that the live firing exercise extended in the Taiwan Strait, the Hang Seng will automatically sell down. So this happened for the past few sessions already. So let's see where Hang Seng is going to be. Now, this week I add in another index called the FBN KLCI, which is the Malaysian market. So last week I analyzed the index, and then I saw the projected level is about 1,531. I thought this is the potential target level that it may hit, but it fell short. And it went as high as only 15,207. Okay, and then it start to pull back. Especially you see this shooting star pulling back is quite a natural action. And the positive takeaway is that this index managed to find some support at this uptrend line. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. It's a weekly shooting star, so it doesn't look bullish for now. And then if it breaks below this uptrend line, we may see some more downside. And this downside could be, let's do an estimation. Breaking down could be coming to 1477. Okay, if it breaks down bearish. All right, wrapping up over here, let's take a look at the screen here. So next week, what are we looking for? Basically, we are going to look at some US information that is going to lead the market. So first, start off the week on Tuesday, if not wrong, manufacturing sales PMI, new home sales data is going to help the market, or push the market lower, then followed by durable goods data. Then the key will come in when the core PCI prices, which is an inflation indicator to indicate whether the inflation is going down or still have a sign that is going to rebound. Then we have the GDP release. Then the Jackson Hole symposium will kickstart, and then followed by the PCE price indices or index. which is another inflation indicator, which is going to tell us again, if the inflation is trending down, then the market still have a sign or a chance to rebound higher, which it will negate all the bearish sign. But then if the inflation numbers point to a rebound, then the market may not be able to sustain at the high and will start to pull back or even go lower. Okay, go much lower, I would say. All right, so thank you for viewing this week's video. Any comment, please put in the comment box. Anything that you would like to add in the video, please let me know as well. All right, so thank you for viewing this week's video. I will see you again.